But he lucked out. I think he dodged a bullet here. It says that Lewis Collick and Alan Scott did rewrites on the script. All of the crater scenes were shot at Mount St. Helens, which we were wondering because wherever they were filming, we're like, there's no
Yeah.
volcano there. Where they would like every once in a while they'd cut to Mount St. Helens, just like a still picture of it for to be in the background. And we're like,
It's like, well, that looks like Mount St. Helens to
Yeah.
me. I think we looked up Mount St. Helens while we were watching it and found pictures like, yeah, that's definitely Mount St.
that's
Helens.
definitely that.
This is the picture they actually used.
Dante's Peak was actually decided they got its name from Dante's Inferno, which is basically describes a trip
Hell.
into hell. And so
Yeah.
that was kind of like what it was like watching the movie. So
Yeah,
I
no kidding.
agree. Most of the film's exteriors were shot in Wallace, Idaho. And Dante's Peak surrounding scenery were then digitally added in, which you could tell. Like,
Yeah.
but obviously this is an older picture, so the integration between digital and physical wasn't as sophisticated as it is now.
Yeah.
But most of the sets, as we were talking about, were practical. They used full-size properties, vehicles, models, cars. It was pretty impressive. The story of Ruth, Grandma Ruth, not wanting to leave was based on actual events. So this kind of
Oh.
ties into what you were saying, Dan, except these people were not quite as lucky. So when Mount St. Helens was about to blow, there was a local resident named Harry R. Truman, not related to Harry S. Truman in any way. He refused to leave because he'd been living on family property there for over 50 years. And he was recorded in a television interview saying that he thought that the reports of the eruption were greatly exaggerated. So he decided he was going to stay.
There's always
And
one
then
nut.
there's always one. And then, like the person you're talking about, Dan, at the same time, a scientist named David Johnson decided he wanted to film the volcano eruption. So he set up post about 6 miles away. And that seems like it would be enough. They have a last recording of him at 8:32 a.m. in the morning that Mount St. Helens erupted. He radioed the message, Vancouver, Vancouver, this is it. And then seconds later, he was killed.
Gee.
So the lateral blast, it went from 225 miles an hour to like 650 miles an hour. And the velocity that it hit the scientist was probably about 350, but it happened like that.
Just the air, like the impact of air.
Like the pyroclastic flow. And you know how like a bomb explodes, like everything is just like outwardly shooting.
Right.
Oh.
So that
Just that impact.
velocity
It
Oh,
would have been a
forced
lot of not only the shockwave, but all of the
debris.
particulates and all the debris and stuff that would come with that.